Hello everyone, it's me, Aaron, Professor Thorgy, your guide to all things geeky, and welcome to another episode of Game Room, the show every single week on this channel where we just geek out about video games. And today, Nintendo has made some interesting announcements. They revealed a couple of new games, many of which would be mobile games, but they also had some more distressing news. They announced that the NX, which is their new console that many people have been placing all their hopes on, would not be coming out in the holiday season of this year. Instead, it and the new Zelda game, which many people have been looking forward to for years, would be coming out in March of next year. And to top it all off, Nintendo released its annual financial report, which showed that for the third year in a row, they have suffered losses. So this has caused many people to ask, is this truly it? Is this the end of one of gaming's biggest giants? Could this truly be the start of the end of Nintendo, or did that actually start a long time ago and we're just finally realizing it? So, to answer that today, I bring you this new segment, which I am going to call...
Please, can we just calm the f*** down?
Oh my god, I didn't want to do this today. I didn't. It's Game Room. I look forward to this show. It's fun. It's all about just geeking out about video games. And I just got back from PAX. I want to do an episode talking about all the games that I played there. Or there's talk of a new American live-action Pokemon movie. I wanted to talk about that this week. Or I wanted to do something special for the Ratchet & Clank movie coming out. But oh no. No, a couple of people on the internet had to go running around screaming like Chicken Little saying that the Nintendo sky was falling, so now here we are, let's do this. And let me just say, I fully realize that this is just a select number of people on the internet. I know that the average person out there doesn't actually believe that. However, I have also seen it happen numerous times where a few select people were going around there screaming, this is the end, or this is the worst thing ever, or there's a weird conspiracy behind this, and they screamed it so loud that eventually everyone believed it. So I'm gonna come in here and try and put a stop to this right now. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the big piece of news, which is that yes, the NX is delayed, and yes, that's disappointing. I was hoping it would come out this holiday season, but I knew in my heart it wasn't going to happen. You can typically tell when a game's going to come out based on how much you've already seen of it, and they have kept the NX a total mystery. And yeah, Nintendo's actually pretty good at that. They're pretty good at coming in here and suddenly just announcing something that is almost done that you didn't even know was going to happen. However, if this was the big thing that they were trying to promote, and they were trying to get it out there and in everyone's faces, we would have seen something by now. Unless they were trying to keep this thing in a bunker 500 feet below the Earth's surface, there's no way they could have kept it that much of a secret and had it still come out this holiday season. So yes, it is disappointing that it's not coming out on time, but I kind of already knew that was going to happen, but that's not important. It's not important how I felt. What's important is what does this mean for Nintendo? And a lot of people are coming out here and saying, okay, it's not coming out when they said it would come out. Clearly that means that they're done. Clearly that means that there are tons of problems and they don't know what they're doing. Yes, that's exactly what that means. Because as we all know in the video game community, if a game gets delayed, clearly it's going to be garbage and that company is never going to make anything good ever again. Yeah, all those games got severely delayed. You know why they got severely delayed? Because games are hard. I know that I should have a far more sophisticated and elegant analysis of it, but honestly, that's all that it is. Games these days take so much programming that, yeah, it's hard to guess when you're going to actually get these things out on time. And if that game is getting delayed, it typically means that they're fixing mistakes, meaning it will actually be better when it eventually comes out. You know what game actually did come out on time? I rest my case. But a lot of people are saying that's not the point. The point is that Nintendo had something scheduled for the end of this year that was going to be big. Now they don't really have anything, meaning they're going to go pretty much an entire year with very few actual releases. I agree. Yeah, this is going to hurt them. They are going to lose a lot of money in the next financial year, and if you look at the report that just came out that showed their finances for the previous year, they once again lost 8%, and the year before that, they lost 4%. Nintendo has been losing money. That does not mean that they've been losing money. To all the people who look at that and go, oh my god, Nintendo is just flushing cash down the toilet. Oh, they have no money coming in at all. No. Nintendo hasn't even dipped into their reserves yet, okay? Yes, they did lose 8% from the previous year, which means that their entire company this year lost nothing. They still made over $100 million in profit. Not in total. No, in profit. When they factor in all the expenses they had to pay, when everybody's final paychecks were sent out, they still looked at it and went, oh, we still made over $100 million this year. Oh wow, what a problem. But yes, they still had some pretty big games coming out in the previous year. However, most of those games were pretty front load. They haven't really had anything coming out in the past 4 months aside from Fire Emblem, which did sell pretty darn well, but that's always been Nintendo's biggest problem, is that they have giant gaps in between their releases, and that's what's causing them to suffer. If they had been able to keep up the number of games that were coming out, then yeah, they would have made a profit this year. However, as we said, for the next year, it doesn't really look like they have anything because they were relying entirely on the NX, and now that NX is not coming out for another year. However, that means that they might have to dip into their reserves. How much money does Nintendo have in their reserves? This is actually true, I'm not making this up. If Nintendo did not make another game for 5 years, they could still keep everyone on staff at their current payroll. That is not a joke. They literally have that much money that everyone from Reggie down to Dave in the mailroom could keep their jobs at their current pay level for 5 years just showing up to sit at their desk and do absolutely nothing. That's how much money Nintendo has. And they're not going to have nothing come out for the next year. They do have stuff planned, including many of those mobile games that I mentioned. Oh, but Nintendo won't make any money off these mobile games. No one's going to pay for them. They won't be as popular as their regular games. Oh no? Listen, Tomo, their very first mobile game, which has only been out for roughly a month, just hit 10 million downloads. That's insane. This is nothing but a game where you create a me so that it can answer questions each day. 10 million downloads. And you might be thinking, yeah, but it's a free game. How do you make money off that? Oh, I don't know, with a little thing called in-game purchases. Yes, I know about 5 people who have downloaded Tomo, including myself, and out of the 5 of us, one of us has spent roughly $5 on that game. $5 out of 5 people, 10 million. In other words, Nintendo has made around $10 million off of this game. For something that just came out a month ago, and probably didn't cost them all that much to make, that's pretty damn impressive. And they have more of these games coming out this year, including a Fire Emblem game and an Animal Crossing game. I don't know, are those 2 franchises that have die-hard fan bases with super addictive personalities? And don't even get me started on Pokemon Go. Yeah, remember, that's coming out this year too. A mobile game that turns the real world into your own Pokemon adventure. People have been dreaming of the day that this would be a thing before it was even announced it would be a thing. That's how long people have been dreaming of this, and that's how many people are going to download this thing, and believe you me, there will be in-game purchases. And I'm going to spend real money on them, because I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to be walking along, and all of a sudden a chestpin will pop up in front of me, and I'm going to get super excited, and I'll throw a Pokeball at, and it'll miss. Then I'll throw another Pokeball at, and it'll hit, but then it'll break free. And then I'll throw another Pokeball at, only to discover I'm all out of Pokeballs. And then a little tiny box will pop up that says, well, looks like you're out of Pokeballs for the day. Guess you can't catch any more Pokemon until tomorrow. Unless you spend $5 to get 10 more Pokeballs. And I'm gonna do it, because I gotta catch them all. And that's going to be true for many people. Do you know how much money they're going to make off that? I could explain to you, but it would be far more accurate for me to just punch this coin box repeatedly. And that's not all. Yes, the sale of physical copies of games have been down for Nintendo. However, the sale of digital games and digital content, such as DLC, has actually been going up for Nintendo. Partly because they've been putting out there some really kick-ass DLC. Nintendo is one of the few companies out there that actually realize how to make good DLC, and as long as they keep doing that, they're not going to be in any trouble when it comes to their digital side. But okay, even with their digital sales going up, it looks like they are going to lose so much from their physical copies, and with the lack of games coming out next year, that it does look like next year will be the first year in which they have actually lost money from their games. Good thing Nintendo doesn't just make games. Have you met my friend, Mr. Amiibo? Yes, while the sale of their games might have continued to drop, the sale of their Amiibos have continued to climb. The Amiibos are doing just fine, and they don't even cost that much to make, so they're making a ton of profit off these guys. I mean, hell, they just announced a Cloud from Final Fantasy Amiibo. Even when you split those profits between Nintendo and Square Enix, the sell of that thing is going to be so high, it will pay for Reggie's new beach house, okay? Trust me, Nintendo is just fine, and the Amiibos are keeping them in business. The Amiibos are fantastic. Not only are they great little statues that are made with such amazing detail, and not only do they get you a ton of free DLC in your current games, but also, they're kind of a racket. They really are, because not only do they get you DLC for the games that you currently have, they also promise you DLC for future games. I'll admit, I've been in the game store before and looking at an Amiibo and actually thought to myself, yeah, I don't really need that for any of the games I currently have. But I might need it for a game that comes out in the future. But it's not just the Amiibos that are keeping Nintendo afloat. It's not just the Amiibos that are going to keep them churning out a profit even when they don't have any games coming out. What else is going to give them a profit? I'll give you one hint. Yes! Merchandise! Nintendo has some of the most recognizable characters all across the globe, and even people who don't play their games still like their characters enough that they want to buy a plush, they want to buy a shirt, they want to buy an action figure. Hell, I actually thought to myself, wow, I don't even know if kids play Mario anymore, and yet in my comic book store, I still see little kids coming in all the time wanting to buy the Mario figures that we have. Again, I don't know if they're actually playing these games, but he's such a beloved character that those figures are still going to keep churning out a profit for generations to come. And don't get me wrong, if Nintendo came out tomorrow and said, listen, we're no longer making games, we're just making toys for the games that we used to make, yeah, I'd be pissed. I do not want to see that happen. I am in no way encouraging that. I'm just saying, those toys do make it possible for Nintendo to go, listen guys, we gotta take a year off so that we can get this NX thing right. And I know there's one other argument that people are making, which is that, hey man, if Nintendo doesn't put anything out there for the next year, they might be financially fine now, but it means that people are going to look at the consoles that are out there to buy, and they're not gonna look at Nintendo. They're not. They're going to look at PlayStation and Xbox and only decide between them. Nintendo won't even factor in. Nintendo can't compete with the PlayStation and the Xbox. Nintendo doesn't need to compete with the PlayStation and the Xbox. That's the big secret about Nintendo, guys. Nintendo is on a completely different level from PlayStation and Xbox. And I don't mean that as in they're selling more than those. God, no, it's definitely not. What I mean is that when you go into the store and PlayStation puts out the PlayStation 5 and Xbox puts out the Xbox 2, I guess? I don't know what their next console is going to be called. But when they put out their next consoles and they come out at the same time and you gotta go out there and decide which one to get. It's like, okay, well this one's gonna have this modern military shooter, and it's also gonna have this modern driving game, and this one's gonna have the exact same game, and their graphics are basically exactly the same. And they're also going to both have this exclusive game, but this one's gonna have this exclusive game, and that one's gonna have that exclusive game. Oh man, which one of these do I need to get? Oh, what's that? The new Nintendo system just came out? Does it still have Mario? Does it still have Zelda? Does it still have Samus? Does it still have Pokemon? Is that still the only place that I can actually get any of those games I just mentioned? Cool, give me that. Listen, I fully understand that not nearly as many people are interested in the Nintendo games as they are in the PlayStation and the Xbox games. However, the people who are interested in the PlayStation and the Xbox games have to decide on which of those systems they're going to get. Nintendo will always own those properties, and they will always be the only place you can go to get them. But not just that, they're pretty much the only place to go and get that entire genre of gaming. Yeah, there are a lot of great games out there on the PlayStation and the Xbox, but they kind of share the exact same ones. But if you want to play platformers, it's Nintendo or PC. If you have a Steam account, then yeah, there's a ton of great platformers out there. But if you want to play it on an actual console, that's pretty much it. That's your one place to go. And sure, there are tons of great fantasy, sword-slashing adventure games over on the PlayStation and the Xbox. I mean, Dark Souls is ruling that platform right now. However, if you want to play one of those games that isn't just full of dark, depressing zombies everywhere and monsters that kind of look like dicks, then yeah, Zelda, over there. That's it. that's the other place to go for it. Yes, it's true that Nintendo has dug a little hole for itself and is just sitting in there, but if you want any of the games that are in that hole, you're gonna have to jump on in. I mean, yes, it is true that Nintendo does need to make new franchises. It does need to look for new independent properties, but they are doing that. They made Splatoon last year, and it was a massive success. And Splatoon kind of proves my point about why Nintendo is going to continue to succeed, because Nintendo decided, hey, listen, we're going to make a team multiplayer shooter game. And everybody was like, oh, like Call of Duty, yeah, or all the other thousands of Call of Duty flavor ripoffs out there on the PlayStation and Xbox. And they came in and went, no, we're going to make the Nintendo brand, where it's bright and colorful and fun and everyone of all ages can play it. And yeah, there's nothing else out there quite like that. They really did create something brand new. They made that multiplayer shooter game that everyone can enjoy and doesn't feel like any of those other ones out there. That's exactly why they're going to continue to succeed. Yeah, they're going to have to take a year off, but that doesn't mean that they're doomed. Nintendo is doomed the day that they lose that gaming spirit of theirs and the day that they also lose the rights to Mario and Zelda. They are not doomed because the console you were looking forward to got delayed. So yeah guys, I'm sorry if I came off a bit aggressive or a bit negative in this episode, but honestly there's only so many times that you can see people on the internet scream out, Nintendo is doomed! Before you have to come in here and just put a stop to it. But yes, that was it. That was our episode of Game Room today. I'm sorry that was a rant video. I promise something a lot more fun next week. And if you want to see other fun videos from me about everything from the world of geekery, whether it be video games, comic book, movies, or more, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, click on the videos at the end of this for more fun geeky stuff from me. And if you like any of these videos, then make sure that you share it all around the web. It is the best way to help out this channel. You guys have been doing that a lot, and it really helps. Thank you so much. Come back next time.